and the hate from the calm, bro. Just posting clips every time I look up after a stream, nigga. It's a clip of me getting hate formed in the 5-star community and shit. Go on stream, keep on clowning me and shit every day. You want me to get out of that slump of like being like a loser and clowning me, but like you every time you boot up stream, you kind of add to that shit. So it's like, and everybody does.
I have a question.
Doing
I have a question. Why did you let an Asian girl get on her knees and feed you watermelon? If you
Bro,
hate being, hold on, stop. If you hate being a punching bag so much, why did you do that?
Yeah, as I'm sure you're all aware at this point, up-and-coming most chopped streamer of the year, Tae Too Smooth, is being exiled from the 5-star community after he was caught going on multiple burner accounts and dissing 5-star members on Twitter, including FaZe plaqueboymax, which eventually leads to them getting into an intense, heated argument and Tae crashing out on Max's livestream. After PBM reacts to the tweets, of course, but we'll get into all that later. Cause first, many of you might not even know who Tae Too Smooth is. Well, he's been an up-and-coming streamer basically since the Bush administration, and he actually started off as part of the YRG community with Yourrage. Yeah, Tae would find his way into the YRG community by being, you know, a super fan the same way most people do, and you know, for a short while, Rage's Calm actually found him pretty funny. But Tae was weird, and everybody knew it. See, Tae would go online and harass women for content, thinking it's funny. And of course, you know, the community wasn't fucking with this, so Rage had to kick him out. Rage would go on stream and announce that Tae Too Smooth is never to return to the YRG com.
You know, I'm still a part, bro. Like, I feel like you can't, like, you know, just because LeBron got traded from the...
Did you just hear the words that came out of your mouth?
Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, I'm still a part of 5-star, bro. We really gonna watch you. But, you know, I just wanted to...
Nigga just came here to, like, vent his feelings out?
Bro, he couldn't take the YRG heat. So he had to run over to the next dick. You know what I'm saying? It's alright, bro. It's alright.
Tae would eventually wind up running to IMDONTAI's community, FNG, where he would kind of gain notoriety for making love songs to one of Dante's moderators and friends, of course, Mari. And they were both pretty young at the time, around like 17 to 18, but that's still no excuse for the shit you're about to hear him do. Anyways, most people would find this shit weird seeing as Mari had a boyfriend at the time, and she had repeatedly said that she wasn't fucking with Tae making songs on her. Yet that would only lead Tae to drop a diss on her boyfriend as if he was one of his ops. Like that's some weird shit. I don't care what you say, that's weird. But you know, some people would chalk this up to entertainment, I guess, or young people being young people. Until Mari would go on a stream of her own and clear the air completely about anything relating to her and Tae, like shutting him down entirely. And you think he'd stop after this public humiliation ritual, but no, this only prompted this nigga to make a diss on Mari as if she was one of his ops.
Mari, why you talking, ho? You need to know your place. I might pull up to your crib and bust a nut right in your face. And
Jesus
you got
Christ.
30K, but that shit came from Dante. Don't be acting like you grinding, bitch. You took the easy way. I'll be damned if I get dissed up by a bootleg coil array.
Alright, I ain't gonna lie, we don't gotta be, okay, we could cut it off.
And obviously, like, jokes and shit are cool and fun to laugh at, but this diss track wouldn't exactly go over as a joke with the community. And so Dante, being the responsible adult, would of course exile this nigga from his community. I mean, why wouldn't he, for all this weird shit he's been doing?
So, he's struggling as a content creator, yes. You go on the nigga channel and it's all about other niggas. The fuck? Mostly me too. The fuck? Nigga been weird, nigga been a loser. I hate that he 5-star, bro. He weaseled into another community because Yourrage kicked him out. Literally.
So, after all this, Tae would eventually weasel his way into the 5-star community and get all friendly with plaqueboymax, essentially becoming the laughingstock of yet another community because of the shit that he does. Which I don't really get why Max would let Tae in, knowing the nigga's history with females and with other streamers. And I'm not the only one who thought this, apparently.
And no, shout out to plaqueboymax, but I ain't gonna lie, like, just from what I experienced with him, because I'm not just like talking out of my ass. Like, I literally had encounters with him, and the nigga gave weird vibes and literally dropped a diss track on me because I didn't like adhere to his weird vibes. But I don't get why he associates himself with him, bro. But I mean, to each his own. Like,
and that was around 4 years ago now when Tae first became part of the 5-star community, which of course leads us back to the clip at the beginning, where we fast forward to 2025 and see plaqueboymax once again going on stream and saying that he'll be cutting off Tae Too Smooth after he found out that the nigga was going on burner accounts and talking shit about him and his friends on Twitter. Like, he was full on hating on everybody he claimed to be his mans. Like, he's not ranting, he's not venting privately, he's not like going to a friend or some shit. No, he's publicly in plaqueboymax's community talking shit about him to his fans, which we're actually gonna watch plaqueboymax's reaction to in just a bit. But Tae is saying things like Max is a L-mans and he's a promiscuous womanizer, which like that's not even something you say even in joking about someone you're friends with, quote unquote.
Wow. Nigga, just say this to me. Just keep it a buck. Max and L-mans in this situation, bro, trying so hard to cover up the fact he's a promiscuous womanizer. Mind you, he's saying this while I pay for his flight out here. He living in the crib I got. Yeah. So you telling me you talking shit in my house about me, calling me a promiscuous womanizer, and then you gonna go on TikTok saying you don't got a song with plaqueboymax though.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding why anyone would do some shit like this to someone who literally went out of their way to put them on the map, like how Max did for Tae. Like for years now, niggas have been telling Max to cut off Tae Too Smooth. Not only his own 5-star community, but other streamers like IMDONTAI were telling him to cut him off. Like with the clip you saw earlier, obviously. And yet, despite all of this, Max would still put out for Tae. He would still give that nigga the limelight, even going as far as flying him out for like the 5-star house and shit like that. Even though Tae was making Max's brand look weird the entire time by constantly doing embarrassing shit online, like when he sucked ketchup off his toe in the 5-star house, or how he constantly beefs with females in the most degrading incel adjacent ways.
Do I need to break this shit down in fucking retard language for your dumb ass? That fat ass nose, them ugly ass lips. Everybody know you fucking insecure about your face, dirty ass bitch. Like who the fuck you think you talking to? You
feel me? So it's like this the shit where it's like, come on, bro.
That's not how it works. 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 That's not how that. No, that's not how that works. I get. Who's stuttering now? Shut your dumb ass up and let me fucking talk. Who the fuck? Okay, yeah, here I am. Because you was.
Oh no, hold on. Yo, this is way worse than I remember.
Like, why you beefing with the whole female and bringing up like insecurities and shit? I don't understand this nigga's mentality. And we're gonna look at Max pressing Tae about the tweets in just a second. But I know there's some of you out there who probably think that this shit is cool or funny, and I couldn't care less. Honestly, get a fucking job. Like genuinely, this is the lamest shit a nigga could go online and do in front of a fucking audience of people. And he's pretending like he's some cool crash out demon or some shit like that. And you know what? Even back then when all this happened, plaqueboymax said that he was gonna stop associating with Tae because he finally saw how weird he was. But I guess he forgot or some shit, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, PBM would go on stream with the rest of his friends in 5-star, and they would talk about the situation, of course, with all of them trying to contact Tae Too Smooth and hear his side of the story. And after a long time of ducking, Tae picks up the phone and says, "I'm too busy to respond, but the tweets aren't from me," only to go back on his word the next day and admit that all the tweets were from him, which I'll show in just a second. But it's fucking insane how he tried to manipulate the situation at every turn in the conversation. Like he genuinely tried to play the victim card and pretend like talking shit about his friends online was the only way he could be heard and valued.
I was scared to tell you how, you feel me, how I feel about certain things.
So here's what I'm not understanding. You were scared to tell me how you felt about certain things, and you go to Twitter to say it about.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, nigga. That shit corny, but that's just, it felt like my voice was heard. It was, you know, some of the tweets was like doing well and shit like that. Like it was really like agreeing with my opinions and shit, so I just kept doing it.
Yeah, bro, this shit is already lame from the get-go. Like, you can already tell he doesn't plan on actually taking accountability for the shit that he's done. He's gonna do what every narcissistic, manipulating ass bitch does in a situation like this. He's gonna try and excuse his actions by making himself seem like someone you can sympathize with. It's funny because it kind of relates to the shit I'm studying for my psych degree. But like, no funny shit, I would say that Tae definitely exhibits narcissistic traits. Which I know sounds crazy because like, you know, how can someone who looks like that be a narcissist? But what most people don't realize is that narcissism is a shame disorder. At the heart of every narcissist is a raging insecurity, you know what I mean? And it's constantly being shielded by like a shell of terrible actions that they're using to deflect. And because of this, a narcissist will like typically lash out when they're met with any form of rejection, exactly like how we saw Tae do with Mari or Connie earlier. Because in order to feed their fragile ego, they have to put others down and hurt them in the most emotionally intense way possible, often doing things like attacking insecurities, which sounds familiar, doesn't it? Another thing we're going to see him do that is also very clearly narcissistic is the fact that he constantly tries to downplay the whole situation with Max. But before going further, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please consider subscribing and following the socials on screen. If I get to 2K subscribers before the summer's over, I'll cut the dreads and go bald, swear to God.
I never behind the screens told you need to have aura.
I know,
those words would never come out my mouth.
No, but you're telling nigga,
Why
you
are
told
you
me I gotta
saying
care
that?
about my image. I gotta
Which
have more.
100%.
You said I had to have.
Okay, but don't lie. I did not sit here and say, yo, Tay,
Nigga,
you need to have
that's
more
the
aura.
same.
That's not the same thing.
That's the same
Nigga,
thing.
you caring about your image is not you having aura. Man, that aura bullshit. You caring about your image is, damn, let me not degrade myself by getting on my knees and eating watermelon. What the?
And what really made me relate Tae to narcissism, because let me be clear, I am in no way, shape, or form in any position to diagnose him, but the fact that Max has to talk to him about how his public image affects them is just sad. Because of course, as a content creator, you're supposed to know that your public image is something you protect. But what's worse is that Tae, for some reason, would take offense to Max telling him to protect his public image, as if that's a personal attack to his character, which is exactly what a narcissist would do. Again, it is a shame disorder shrouded in fear. Any slight critique of a narcissist feels like you're personally attacking their character, which causes them to flip out, and that's exactly what Tae does. Like, you see how he twists Max's words to make it seem as if Max giving him genuine advice on how he needs to change is the same as Max disrespecting him. It's because he's a fragile, frail little man-child, possibly narcissistic, definitely a dumbass snake. And then he tries to make us feel bad for him by talking about how he's the punching bag of the 5-star con. But my nigga, you're the one who puts yourself in that position, literally. Like, Tae has done some legitimately weird shit, like getting on his knees and being fed watermelon by a girl on camera. And yet he claims that he doesn't see anything wrong with shit like this. Like, okay, bro, I guess. And I know that the Tae stands are already gonna attack me in the comments, so please drop a like if you agree. But I can only hope Max doesn't keep bringing this nigga on stream. Like, I'm not gonna play the full call. You can go watch for yourself. It's kind of funny to see how absurd it genuinely is, because Tae genuinely thinks he's in the right. But you can tell some people weren't made for fame or popularity. They were made to be hating ass trolls on Twitter comms. And that's exactly what Tae is, a fucking troll. Alright, maybe I'm being too hard on him, but I can't shake the feeling that he's a generational loser, bro. Like, his digital footprint is so bad, it will real life affect his children's children, my nigga.
Bye, have a great time.